Hello, ISNR conference attendees. Thank you so much for registering for our 33rd annual ISNR conference. If we haven't met yet, my name is Noelle Ford, and I am honored to welcome you to Niagara Falls, New York, on the US side, for our annual conference. I have the pleasure of leading the planning efforts for this event with a host of planning committee members as well as volunteers that make this event successful. I have gotten a lot of questions about how to access the virtual conference, as well as how to log in to the app and check in for CEs. So I'm making this video right now to go along with the Know Before You Go email that will give you a quick tutorial on how to use the attendee website as well as the conference app. Now, let's start with a screen share of the attendee website. So when you go to isnrconference.org, you are going to land on this page. You may also land on the conference access page. It depends on your cookies, to be honest. So ideally, if you land on the general page, you're going to just click right here where it says virtual conference access, and it'll look like that. And then it'll take you to this tab. I've preloaded some tabs here today to make this go a bit faster. But when you get on the conference access, a couple things I want to point out. Number one, conference access includes, of course, the attendee website and the mobile app, but also your digital conference program. That's going to be loaded here so you guys can see that. You're going to click through. You can see lots of fun things here. Take a look at that. It's going to have your schedule as well. You're also going to have the vendor hall map. You're also going to have your schedule at a glance. So for those of you that, especially that are home and you want to print out a schedule, this schedule at a glance is going to be a really great way to have something that's easy to print out, doesn't use so much ink as the conference program. So feel free to use that as the thing that you print out for the conference. Now, the attendee website, couple key things. The attendee website is something that you have to log into. You must log into the attendee website with the email that you registered for the conference with. If you do not know what that is, go search your emails for the confirmation email, because that is the email that you need to use in order to log in. In theory, your mobile phone number was entered when you registered, so you should get the verification codes at both your email and your mobile phone. If you're not getting it at either, then you're probably using the wrong email. The attendee website is going to be critical for your experience as a virtual attendee. You will be able to access all of the Zooms here on the attendee website. This is where you're going to log in. You're going to see your schedule. You're going to see our virtual exhibit hall. You're going to see all the vendor information. You're going to be able to connect with attendees. You're going to be able to take your CE surveys. You're also, most importantly, going to be able to access the Zooms and then the recordings later. So this is very critical. I'm going to demo this in just a minute. The next thing is the mobile app. Even if you're at home, you're going to want to download the mobile app, log in, get comfortable with the mobile app, because the mobile app is what you're going to use to enter the CE check-in code that is going to be displayed at the beginning and the end of every session so that you can check in for CEs. I'll show you how to do that as well. There's also some information on continuing education, which you can add at any point if you guys want to go back in and make sure you get a certificate. You will not have access to the CE surveys if you have not already prepaid for the CEs. So make sure you add that. You can go up here to any of the pages on the general information. You can go to modify a registration, and that will allow you to add the CEs to your registration. Now, let's say that we are going to go here to our attendee website. I'm going to show that to you. So when you click that button, it's going to open a new tab. You are going to click. Perfect. And then you're going to get a verification code. This will be sent to your email or your phone. So I'm going to check my phone. And I'm going to enter this here. I want to show you guys every step here. So it is going to take a little bit of time, but you'll see this. Now you're into the attendee website. You can scroll down, see different things. Certain images may or may not take a little bit to load. Your conference abstracts here. So if you want to see all of the abstracts for every session, they're loaded in this particular Canva design. It'll look a little bit different on your side. Obviously, I have edit access there, but here you'll also notice that we have our swag shop. So if you haven't gotten any ISNR or conference gear, this is the place to do it. Key point is that all the proceeds of that go towards the CPT initiative. So consider getting something that's a little fun to use around the house. We've got some fun coffee mugs, etc. And also that supports our CE initiative. Back to our attendee website, we're going to go to My Schedule. My Schedule is going to tell you everything that you are logged in for, that you're registered for. Now, I have Monday access. You guys may not because you're not doing pre-conference workshops. So skip over to Thursday. Thursday, you'll see 7 a.m. is breakfast. This is where you can see the schedule. This will be the same in the app. I'll show you that as well. Notice right now that this join session, it is grayed out. It is grayed out, as you can see, because it will only be accessible 5 minutes before the session. So don't worry if you can't access that. It just means that the session is 5 minutes from starting. Now that 5 minutes is based on this time that's listed here, 8 a.m. So at 7:55 a.m., this session would become available. I will tell you, we are doing our very best this year to stay on time in every room, but of course things happen on site. So be patient with us. One thing that we're doing a little different this year is we are using one Zoom room per auditorium per day. So what that means is that if you want to jump into a session and you try to click the link and it's not happening, you can go to the previous session and you would be put into the same Zoom room. That also means that when you jump into a Zoom room, the session might not be on time. So just be patient and listen for our volunteers who will be announcing when the session ends and when we have Q&A. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is floor plans. This is more important for people that are on site, but it's important for you guys to see here. Under floor plans, you'll also see this in the app. You can actually see what sessions are happening in each room. And so that's a good way to navigate for the conference. You'll also want to check out our sponsors and our exhibitors. That's a great place to check in and see who is supporting our conference from a vendor perspective. You can also connect with other attendees, specifically the discussions. One thing that I started a discussion topic on because I was getting a lot of questions about carpooling between the airport and the Niagara Falls Convention Center, NFCC. So if you guys have any interest in jumping in that Zoom and trying to coordinate maybe Uber ride shares or shuttles or anything like that from the airport to the convention center, jump in that topic. There are other discussions that are upcoming, and I will add more as we go there. Now, this is the basics for our attendee website. The main thing that you want to use the attendee website for is your schedule. And specifically, when you click into a session, let's just go with our keynote here. You can tap in the session, even though you can't access the Zoom, you can see the description of it. You can see who the speaker is. And if the speaker has entered any information here under resources, you're going to be able to download their slides. So it's going to be over here in resources. You can hit download. On the website here, you can also chat with other attendees. And then once it's available, you can also take the survey for CEs. You won't have access to the surveys if you did not purchase CEs. If you want to purchase CEs, you can do that at any point, even post-conference, but there will be a slight delay if you do it post-conference, just so you guys know. All right, so what I am going to do now is I am going to stop sharing on my laptop. So that's the attendee website. Again, attendee website is going to be critical to watch the Zooms and also access the recordings. The same way that I just went in to do the session details, download the slides, and then access the Zoom, you'll do that same exact thing to access the recording. It's going to have different language on that button. It'll be look at the recording. All right, so now we have the next step of downloading our conference app. If you're on site, we have plenty of QR codes all around, including in your conference program, to download the conference app. But you can also, if you looked at the website, you can also look at the link there and get that ahead of time. Even if you're using the Zoom and you're attending virtually, you're going to want to download the app because that is how you're going to check in for CEs. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Okay, so I'm in my app store right now. I happen to have an Apple device. Your app store might look a little different. You're going to go over here to search, and then you're going to do Cvent events. When it comes up, you're going to click into here. This is going to be your Cvent events. If you had it last year, because it's the same app, it's the same attendee website, and it's the same app that we used last year. So it might feel familiar, but for our new attendees, you're going to download this. If you had it last year, it'll look like it does on my screen. If it's new to you, it'll say get, or whatever your app store usually says when it's a free app. So now I'm going to download this app, and we wait for it to download. The key thing about the mobile app is navigation, keeping up with the notifications. So I'm going to be sending out notifications throughout the conference, and then also checking in for the CEs. Even if you're on the Zoom, it'll be important for you to have the app to check in with the CE code. So now I'm going to hit open. If you have the app from a previous year, I kind of recommend just deleting it and starting over in the same way that I'm showing you now. It kind of reduces some of the error. If not, you can log out of the old event and you can log in or search for this new event. But ideally, I think it's easier if you just delete it and restart. Now we're going to click search for the event. I like to double tap on that little arrow and hit ISNR. It's less likely to autocorrect to isn't. I've had a lot of attendees say that it autocorrects to isn't. It searches, you see 33rd Annual ISNR Conference. We're going to tap on that. Anywhere on that line that you saw. Now you're going to see this first step here. It does say create a profile. You can skip for now, but if you've registered, you want to log in. So we're going to log in. You're going to type in your name. The email that you registered for the conference with. It will not work if it's not the one you registered with. Give it a second. And then oftentimes you'll see a notification. I have mine on Do Not Disturb right now, but you'll see that it pulls from your messages. You don't even have to exit the app, and you can just say, yep, that's the verification code from my messages. And then you hit enter, and then boom, you're into the event. Now, the app mimics the attendee website, except that it does not have the links to the Zoom. To be clear, on your mobile device, on your tablet, you could, in fact, go to your web browser, log into the attendee website, and you could watch the Zoom via your tablet or your phone if you're going through the attendee website, but you will not have access to that Zoom link on the app, just to be clear. The app is most important for the CE check-in code. So when we go here, you'll see the same information. Great. Now, if we go to the little icon on the bottom that looks like a calendar, and then you go to My Schedule, it'll probably populate the day that is current. Or for example, right now I'm recording this Monday night, it's skipping me to Tuesday. For you guys, I'm going to skip ahead to Thursday so you can see what I'm doing here. You're going to go into, for example, our first session at 8:15 a.m. This is a CE accredited. This is not a CE accredited session, but there is a check-in code for that. But if we go in here to our second session here, down at the bottom, you can, once you click into this session, you'll see the title of the talk. You'll see who the speaker is. You'll see the abstract. If you click more, you can read the whole abstract. And then if you'll notice on the bottom right here, it's grayed out now, but there is a check-in. There's the words check-in. Once the session is actually happening, it's actually 5 minutes before the session is happening, you will be able to enter the code that is shown on the screen in the room or on the Zoom that is the session check-in code. This is how we're tracking CEs. We will have some fail safes and backups, so it's not the end of the world if you can't get that code, but this ensures that you're watching the session in the moment. So please try to get that code. If you're on Zoom and you missed the very beginning when the presenter has it up on their slide, or you missed the in-between session slide that has the CE check-in code on it, then I would highly encourage you to ask in the chat, what is the CE check-in code? Because we have volunteers that are working the chat and we'll be able to give you the CE check-in code. It should also be at the end of the presenter's slides. And then also at the end, we'll put that back up if we have time. It kind of depends on the transition time between sessions. All right. And then exhibitors, we also have our sponsors in here. So if we click on sponsorship level, you can see your platinum sponsor. Excuse me. And then on your menu, you'll be able to see attendees, sponsors, all kinds of things. So stay posted there. Look at the app. It's going to have notifications. It's going to have the most updated schedule if we have any cancellations or anything like that. For those of you that are not aware, our 2 pre-conference workshops canceled. We do have our other stress therapy solutions pre-conference workshop happening here in Niagara Falls. But the other 2 canceled. A few people have shown up today expecting to register on site, and that is not an option. But looking forward to seeing the rest of you for the conference on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Last thing I think that we need to remind you about is, I'm going to stop sharing. On Saturday night, we are hosting a casino night. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be all fun money. When you walk in the door, you're going to get a card that gives you $25 or about 5 games worth of fun money to play with. If you don't want to gamble, you don't have to. You can keep those credits and you can turn them in at 10:30 p.m. to be entered into the drawing. If you want to gamble and you want to use more than that $25 that we give you, then you can buy more credits by donating to the CPT initiative. We'll have the process all laid out while you're on site here. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's business casual, so don't worry about dressing up. It's going to be just casual fun. There will be a DJ and dancing and drinks, and then also some fun games. I think there's 7 different games that we have going. So look forward to that. We also, just going to say it, we have an open bar on Saturday night. So if that's interesting to you, then come and have fun with us. Looking forward to seeing each of you here on site, and most importantly, looking forward to raising money for our CPT initiative. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helps you navigate our attendee website, the ISNRconference.org website, which will always be our conference website, as well as the mobile app. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at isnrchair@gmail.com, or the fastest way is to text me or WhatsApp me at 1-928-699-0130. Thank you so much. I appreciate your attention.